In the months just after 9/11, there was a lot of internal discussion in the Justice Department and the White House about where to put guys that we were capturing. In the deliberations over where to put people, where to put these detainees, Guantanamo quickly kind of rose to the top because it is a kind of unique location. It's a place that we control, we've controlled for over a century, but is technically Cuban territory. So it became the preferred option. And so by roughly January of 2002, the first prisoners started to arrive there. Guantanamo is technically part of Cuban territory. We have complete jurisdiction and control, and there's a whole line of court cases about what that means. But the critical fact was that the United States could say, credibly to the outside world, but also to our own courts, that this territory was not really American territory, and therefore the Constitution, the federal courts, and so forth only applied in certain very limited ways. Bagram is a lot like Guantanamo in the sense that we have a very secure base. It's offshore. We have a lease agreement that gives us a lot of control. It's not exactly the same. It's not a perpetual lease in the way that the Guantanamo lease was, but we have a lot of control there. And it's also like Guantanamo in that we have been flying people in there to put them there since we're not flying people really into Guantanamo anymore. In the courts right now, there's a bunch of cases percolating up, one in particular, that address this question of, well, what kind of legal framework applies to Bagram? And the Obama administration is taking a very hardline position on that, in fact, exactly the same position as the Bush administration, in part because they recognize that once they close Guantanamo, they need some alternative. Well, I mean, one thing about the CIA, the black site prisons or secret prisons were in, I mean, they've been alleged to be in various places. So Eastern Europe, Thailand has been mentioned, you know, sometimes people have talked about ships at sea. No one is entirely sure. It seems pretty clear there were some in Eastern Europe where the most high-value detainees were held, in which interrogations took place, the most coercive interrogations. And there, you know, the same question kind of arises with Guantanamo, is why did we take these guys and put them offshore? And in the case of the CIA secret prisons, we often flew them secretly on these unmarked planes that the CIA controlled through shell companies all the way to Europe. You know, we might pick them up somewhere, bring them here, it wasn't really clear exactly where they were, and then brought over. So why are we doing that? And the answer is also kind of similar in that what we wanted was a place that was secure, but was also offshore, that the CIA could control, but that was not going to fall within the reach of constitutional norms, rules, and so forth. And these black site prisons were perfect for that sort of thing.